Welcome back to Season 3 of The Verdict. I'm your host, Tammie Smeltz, Content Marketing Manager with MLMIC Insurance Company. This year, MLMIC is celebrating our 50th anniversary. We are grateful for the opportunity to be of service to the New York healthcare community for half a century, and we look forward to providing service like no other for years to come. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to extend a huge thank you to all of you, our listeners. We couldn't be here without you. And because your opinion matters, we'd love to hear what topics you'd like us to cover next. Share your suggestions by emailing me at tsmeltz@milmic.com or leaving a text on Buzzsprout while you're listening to our podcasts. My guest today is Brian Felton, an attorney with MLMIC's Risk Management Department. Hi, Brian. Thank you for being a guest today on The Verdict. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your role as a risk management attorney at MLMIC?
Absolutely. Tammie, thank you for having me as well. Just to give you a little background about myself, I kind of took a non-traditional route to MLMIC. I spent 9 years as a criminal prosecutor. I started out in the district attorney's office. That allowed me to try quite a few cases, also argue some appeals at the state's mid-level appellate courts. And I had the unique opportunity of arguing an appeal at the state's highest court, the New York State Court of Appeals. So that really gave me a good foundation for what I've done here and what I continue to do here at MLMIC. But one of my primary responsibilities currently is coordinate all of our continuing medical education programs. I've been doing that for roughly 3 years. I absolutely love it, thoroughly enjoy it. One of my goals with CME is never to just stick with the status quo. We in the risk management department are constantly trying to improve our programming, not only from a content standpoint but also from a delivery standpoint. So we're always striving to improve and to make our programming better. But I love my position, and I look forward to continuing with this in the future.
Well, I can say for the entire organization that we're grateful for all the work you do in our CMEs. I sometimes participate as an observer in the CME programs, in person and webinar, and they're always really top notch. And I love your legal background too. I didn't realize it was so well-rounded, and especially working at the DA's office. That must have been really interesting also.
It was a great experience. I would encourage any young attorney to give it a try.
Yeah, that's amazing. So today, as you know, we're talking about our CME programs. How long has MLMIC been providing these valuable continuing medical educational credits to our policyholders?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I mean, technically, we've been providing continuing medical education for over 40 years. And we started out in 1984, and we began with co-sponsored lectures. So that began in 1984. Then in 1993, we received provisional accreditation. And then in 95, we received full accreditation. So we've been fully accredited since 1995 and providing CMEs since that time.
So we've almost been providing CMEs the entire time MLMIC has been in business, right? We're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, and we've been providing CME for 40 of those 50 years. So that's quite amazing.
Absolutely.
Can you give us a sense of the scale of MLMIC CME programs? About how many credits have we been providing policyholders over, let's say, like the last couple of years?
Now, I'm going to give you estimates here, but
okay.
In 2023, roughly, we awarded 39,000 CME credits. In 2024, we saw a reduction, and we awarded approximately 25,000 CME credits. And just so the listeners are aware, the majority of those credits are awarded through MLMIC's proactive risk management courses, both the basic course and the follow-up courses. And you can see the discrepancy from 2023 to 2024. The reason for that is they have to take the follow-up proactive course every 2 years. So 2023 was actually the first year of the new cycle. So you're going to see more learners. We're going to award more credits that first year of the reporting period. And currently in 2025, we just started the new cycle of a 2-year period. So you've seen the rollout of the proactive risk management 11. So 39,000 in 2023 and roughly 25,000 in 2024.
Okay, thanks for that. And we're expecting more this year because this is another year where a lot of physicians are going to have to take this program, right?
Absolutely.
And just out of curiosity, how long is the program? How many hours does it take a physician to complete it?
Yeah, so we did change it up a little bit this year, so it's a little shorter than years before. But the Proactive 11 course is 6 hours, and the Proactive Basic course is roughly 9 hours.
And they take the basic course first. Yeah, a new physician would take the basic course, and then every 2 years they would take the other one, correct?
That's correct, and that's all dictated by Regulation 124 from the Department of Financial Services. Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the physicians can start and stop the program at any time. It's not like they have to sit for an entire 6 hours and complete this course, right?
Now, that's a great point, Dan. And recently, within the past couple of months, we just rolled out our new learning management system. So that's just given them a lot more flexibility in terms of taking the course, stepping away, going to do other things. So again, as I said before, we're always, trying to strive beyond, the status quo, improve the delivery of our programs, and just make it as convenient as possible for our insureds.
I will definitely say it's convenient. Now I'm gonna, give away my age or date myself with this, but I was with MLMIC back in the time where physicians would have to go to a hospital or some facility to watch the program, and it would be an all-day event. I remember we would provide them lunch and breakfast, and physicians did not really like that. So, and they had to complete it, right? So this is a much better way for them to get this credit.
Boy, definitely.
Now, I would imagine creating a quality CME program takes a lot of work. What goes into developing one of these programs?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question it is a lot of work. But again, it goes back to that classic saying, you know, it's, I enjoy it so much. It almost doesn't seem like work. But one of my roles is identifying, new programs, me along with other members, in MLMIC. But yeah, it is a lot of work, but every conversation I have, every interaction with an insured, I'm always looking at things from the perspective of would, this conversation be, elements of this conversation be good for a future CME program. So yes, it's a lot of work. Certainly I'm responsible for planning, development, and implementation of all of our programs. We do have to produce formal planning documents for each program. We do have to collect disclosure statements from all of our speakers, from all of our planners, and that's just to assure that they don't have any relevant financial ties with any ineligible companies. So there a lot of planning goes into it. We have to review the program for content validity. But again, I enjoy it so much that, at times it really doesn't feel like a lot of work.
Well, as an outsider, it sounds like a lot of work, and it sounds like it could also be a lot of paperwork as well. So there's like the creative standpoint, and then there's kind of like the administrative, the standpoint as well, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
So accessibility is important with these programs. Do we have closed caption services available for our providers?
Yes, and I'm proud to say yes. And I credit Matt Land and the risk management department with really pushing this concept. So every enduring material, every program that our insured see on the CME Plus catalog, every single one of those programs now has closed captioning attached to it. So I'm proud to say that it was a lot of work, but I think it was necessary. Certainly, we want to practice what we preach, and we want all of our insureds to have the same experience when viewing this material, this programming. And alternatively, with the new learning management system, one of the benefits of this system is that you can access our programs through a smartphone, through a tablet. So if you're in an airport waiting for a flight, you can take this course on your tablet, your cell phone, immediately press the button for closed captioning, and it'll come right up. So you can take that, right in the terminal if you're there. So that's kind of a unique added benefit. But again, always striving to be better and make the viewing experience better for our insureds.
I didn't realize that, Brian. So that is really a nice convenience as well, that they can listen to it on their phone or their tablet. And we all know that the airports are delayed a lot lately, so they might get the whole course done depending on where they're going or how long their flight is delayed. So I know we have a lot of CME programs that we offer our policyholders. Are there any specific programs that you'd like to highlight as being especially valuable?
Yeah, and one of the programs that I love, and it's very personal to me because I had a parent that recently went through it. But it's the two-part series, Aging in Place. So we have a part one and we have a part two. Cumulatively, it's 3 hours of programming. And it just goes through the complexities involved with an aging population. Trying to find alternatives to a long-term care setting or an assisted living setting, and really trying to receive, care at home. And although, some of the complexities may seem, obvious to certain people, sometimes they aren't as obvious. And in this two-part series, we did have a panel discussion that, we had physicians on it, we had attorneys on it, and they just, really talked about the complexities of, receiving care, at your own home. So, certainly I had a parent that just went through this process, and, I was proud to be, a part of the production of this program. Another program, just off the top of my head would be, in Proactive 10, we had an FAQ module, so frequently asked questions, and that kind of was a unique, flair to things. We would, basically take a look at some of the calls that were coming into us, risk management related issues that some of our insureds were having. And, we took some of the common calls and put them into a module, but we also took some of the unusual calls and put them into the module. So that's kind of unique and fun. And we're a different provider. We're not a major medical center. We're not a hospital. We're not a large group practice. And there's some uniqueness to who we are. And really it allows us, to develop programming in that spirit. So yeah, those are two that come to the top of my head, but two great programs. I encourage all the listeners to take a look at those programs, but excellent content.
I've seen some of the Aging in Place myself, and I spoke with both Dr. Volpe and some members of the NYACP. We collaborated with them on that program, right? And it is really impactful and beneficial to people our age. As you said, you were able to, you had this knowledge for taking care of one of your family members. You and I are kind of in the same age group where we'll have family members that we want to keep at home while they're aging. And that's a very important topic for the entire community.
Yeah, so there's certainly, CME professional benefits to view in the program, but certainly there's also, the personal benefit
Right.
of listening to that.
So how can MLMIC insureds take advantage of our CME programs? Are they online? Are they in person? Do you have to schedule them with, let's say, a risk management consultant? How would a policyholder go about obtaining these?
I want to be as flexible as possible in how we deliver CME programs. So really, you have a wide array of options. Certainly we have a CME Plus catalog where insureds can go in, take courses online. Typically, they'll be presented, with a pre-test, a post-test, and take things, like that, at their own leisure too. So whenever they want, they can take those programs. We also, offer programming through live webinars. Live webinars were huge for us during the pandemic. It allowed us to update, our insureds, our physicians, everyone involved, almost in real time. So, those live webinars have been huge for us, and really COVID changed, the way, we view things. So that's been hugely beneficial, and we've continued live webinars as well. It's not the inconvenience of having to travel and show up at a separate location. You can sit right in your office, your home, and view that live, and you can submit questions through that. One of the things that's important to me, it's one of my goals moving forward this year and probably next, is really trying to go back a little bit to live in-person programming as well. I think it's important. I think live webinars are hugely beneficial. I think our enduring material is hugely beneficial, but I think there's still significant value to live in-person programming, and it's certainly a goal of mine to increase the amount of in-person events that we're doing.
Yeah, I agree. We have an in-person CME course next week in Buffalo, and I'm really excited about it because I haven't had an in-person CME course I don't remember one. It's always been webinars. So I'm looking forward to seeing people and, connecting with our own MLMIC colleagues as well as physicians out in the Buffalo area.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thought process. Networking is important. Meeting with your colleagues. Learning with your colleagues. That's all part of the process. And we're just trying to find a good balance. Where you can take courses online, live webinars, and the live in-person events. I think are really important for everyone.
It's good to have options, and certainly our policyholders have a lot of options when it comes to CME.
Trying to make it as easy as possible.
There we go. Well, thank you, Brian. I really enjoyed chatting with you today about MLMIC CME programs. I'm hoping to have you on the podcast again. This has been wonderful.
Appreciate it. And if any of the listeners, have any suggestions for future programming, always feel free to email me, call me. I'm a very easy person to talk with, but we welcome suggestions and welcome any tips that you may have.
Great. And listeners, I'll put Brian's contact information in the notes if you want to reach out to him personally. Well, thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
And that's the verdict on Brian Felton and MLMIC's CME programs. Brian can be reached directly at 518-786-2883 or via email at bfelton@mlmic.com. MLMIC policyholders can take advantage of our CME programs by logging onto their portal at mlmic.com/login. A list of our CME courses can be found at mlmic.com/risk-management/CME. This podcast is for general purposes only and should not be construed as medical or legal advice. This podcast is not comprehensive and does not cover all possible factual circumstances. Because the facts applicable to your situation may vary, or the laws applicable in your jurisdiction may differ, please contact your attorney or other professional advisors for any questions related to legal, medical, dental, or professional obligations, the applicable state or federal laws, or other professional questions.